Dallas's housing market has completely transformed in 2025, and it's become a buyer's market with more homes available than we've seen in the last couple of years, and many homes are seeing price cuts. But here's the thing, everyone's still looking at the same old neighborhoods while missing some pretty incredible opportunities. And today I'm breaking down the top neighborhoods where I would consider moving for 2025, from fast-growing suburbs to some that are flying completely under the radar. And stay tuned till the end where I'll reveal which one is my personal top pick for 2025. Now, before I show you exactly where I'd plant roots in Dallas if I were moving here in 2025, let's talk about the reality of our market right now, because if you don't understand what's happening behind the scenes, you could end up overpaying or missing out on the best opportunities in the Dallas market in 2025. And so here's what you first need to know. So Dallas-Fort Worth isn't just growing, it is exploding, and we're now the fourth largest metro in the nation, on track to overtake Chicago by 2030. And this isn't really just random growth either. There's really a massive business migration happening, with Dallas now home to over 21 Fortune 500 company headquarters. And these are big companies like Toyota, Charles Schwab, McKesson, CBRE, Jacob Solutions, AECOM, and Caterpillar have all planted their flag here, bringing thousands of high-paying jobs. And these aren't just really satellite offices. These are full headquarters and massive regional hubs that are creating tens of thousands of jobs and completely transforming the economic landscape here. Now, as far as home prices, Dallas's housing market in 2025 is seeing something pretty remarkable. The median home price sits around $468,000 to $471,000, and that's up about 46% year over year. But inventory has significantly increased recently, with Dallas having over 6,600 homes for sale in May alone, and that's a 13.4% jump just from a month earlier. Now, about 66% of homes in Dallas-Fort Worth are selling below list price, with an average home going for about 3% under asking, and that's a complete reversal from the seller's market we've seen just 2 short years ago. And here's the deal on that 3% under asking price. A lot of that is coming from our own negotiations of requesting anywhere from 3 to 6% on concessions from sellers right now, which they are willing to pay, which could help with your interest rate buy downs. It could help towards closing costs, or you could use that money in some other form to help you out throughout the closing process. But here's the deal. Now, most people completely miss how Dallas is really transforming. So the city is organized into 5 district rings, each with its own character and really investment potential. So you have the inner ring, which is the heart of Dallas, very dense, fast-paced, and full of energy. Second ring offers those character-filled areas just outside of the core, a lot of historic homes. Third ring gives you more established neighborhoods with more space and a little bit of that suburban feel. Then you have the fourth ring, which provides really quiet and family-friendly suburbs. And then the outer ring, that's where you're going to really find the explosive growth, new developments, and wide open spaces. But first, we're going to talk about the cost of living, because this is where I see too many people really get blindsided. So Dallas offers pretty incredible value compared to the coastal cities, of course, with the median home prices less than half of what you may pay in places like San Francisco or New York. But it's not really just about the purchase price. Property taxes in Texas are higher than the national average, but with the lack of state income tax, that kind of balances things out for most people that make their move here. Now, the job market is really another massive factor that's driving the growth. Dallas-Fort Worth, the region, has added almost 178,000 new residents between 23 and 24 alone, and the employment is projected to grow another 1.9% in 2025. So tech jobs are booming, especially in AI, cybersecurity, and cloud computing, and with AI cloud roles alone seeing a 17% surge this year. So is Dallas worth it? Well, if career growth, innovation, and relatively affordable housing really matter to you, then yes, absolutely. But Dallas delivers a pretty strong school system, an incredible food scene, in my opinion, and quick access to really everything you need as far as entertainment and international travel to Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. But you have to pick your neighborhoods wisely, because in a market this dynamic, really location isn't just about the convenience. It's really about building a long-term value in your home and the community you choose. So let's dive into our first neighborhood, one that's caught the attention of buyers, investors, families, really looking for that really good blend of growth and community, and that's going to be Prosper, Texas. Now, this is a North Dallas suburb that's really growing at an absolutely insane rate. Now, Prosper is about 37 miles from downtown Dallas, so it's about a 35 to 45 minute drive, depending on traffic, if you're going to be working in the city. But most people in Prosper really work in Frisco or Plano or work from home, so that's really about 10 to 20 minutes as far as a commute time. Actually, Frisco could be right next door, depending on where you live. So what makes Prosper special is how it mixes fast fast growth with a little bit of the small town feel. I mean, about 41,000 people live here. I think that's pushing 50,000 now in 2025, but it's growing between 9 to 13% per year, and that makes it one of the fastest growing suburbs in all of Dallas. And the town can grow to about 72,000 people, so there's still room to expand. And the schools, of course, in Prosper are pretty spectacular. I mean, Prosper ISD is highly rated. It's got an A+ rating on niche.com and ranks among the top districts in Texas. They just opened Walnut Grove High School last year, which really looks more like a college campus. And they are opening Richland High School in the fall semester as well, which is just as big, if not bigger. And so it's got amazing architecture. And I tell you what, they've got food courts and coffee shops and everything on the inside. It's crazy. And I don't know about you, but I grew up in a really small town. My graduating class was like 250 people. And to see the growth in these high schools here in Texas, it blows my mind. Let me know in the comments if you've seen some of these high schools that they're building here in North Texas and what you think about them. Now, the housing in Prosper is mostly new, of course, with the median prices around $886,000. So that is a lot higher than most areas, but what you really get is worth it. I mean, it's master plan communities like Windsong Ranch, which have a 5-acre lagoon with white sandy beaches. I mean, you can't find this stuff really anywhere else, but they are starting to build more lagoon communities that really mimic Windsong. But I'll show you some really interesting places where your dollar stretches a little bit further, so make sure you stick around for that. Now, one of the best things about Prosper is the community atmosphere, of course. I mean, the town hosts regular events like the Prosper Founders Fest, I mean, summer concert series at Frontier Park, and holiday celebrations, of course, that you can attend with the family. The master plan communities have their own calendar of activities as well. Just in Windsong Ranch alone, it has over 100 resident events each year. So for things to do, Prosper is still growing, so there aren't a lot of restaurants yet. I mean, they're starting to pop up more and more, but the Gates of Prosper is a main shopping hub where you'll find a lot of new restaurants, and they're building out a whole new section. So you got places like Gloria's Latin Cuisine for some Salvadorian mix. You've got Sushi Marquis, which are considered some of the best rolls in North Dallas. You got Cane Rosso for some Neapolitan pizza, but Frisco's just 10 minutes away as well, so you're never really that far from more great food and shopping if you feel it's lacking a little bit in Prosper. But all of that's going to change with Fields development as well. Now, from an investment perspective, I mean, Prosper offers something special. Whenever the developers are working on these new communities, they start prices lower usually in the early phases, right? They want to sell through inventory quickly. And as the neighborhood establishes itself, of course, they always do price increases because inventory shrinks within that community. Plus, you start to get through some of that new construction. So that's something that I've always encouraged with our clients, is to move into a community in the earlier phases. Yes, you have to deal with a lot of noise and new construction throughout that, but the appreciation is pretty much always built in because you're getting into the beginning phases of a new community. By the way, if you're new here, my name is Levi. I've lived here for over 25 years in the Dallas area. My business partner Travis and I have sold over 500 homes to people just like you, relocating just within the last couple of years. So if you're thinking about moving to the Dallas area, go ahead and subscribe so you can stay up to date on everything in the Dallas market. You'll definitely be the first to learn it here on this channel. And then if you are thinking of making that move, we'd be happy to make it a very, very smooth one for you. Now, I want to shift to a completely different type of neighborhood, one with a little history, character, and has a really special place in my heart, which is Lakewood. Now, places like Prosper, that could represent Dallas's future, but Lakewood is a clear representation of Dallas's past. And if you like character, history, an established community, massive trees, and really close to downtown, I mean, Lakewood is one of my favorite, if not my favorite neighborhood. Just east of downtown Dallas, it wraps around White Rock Lake, so giving you access to one of the best urban park areas in the Dallas area. It has a perfect mix of historic charm, outdoor activities that you can do with the family, and of course, having the lake, you got so much you can do on and around the lake. But I really like the balance of Lakewood. I mean, you get all of the city perks, but you still feel like you're part of a really cool community. You have all the historic houses in there, many of them over 100 years old, but then some have been torn down and they have built more modern looking or transitional or traditional or new Tudors that may look like old school, but they're brand new. So it's got a pretty good mix in there. Now, the issue is, of course, you're going to pay for that as well. You're probably not going to find anything less than $1 million in Lakewood. So that's where you can look for starting prices in that area. And they go all the way up into multi-millions and even in the $10 million range, depending on if you're directly on the lake with a little bit of land. But then you also got Lakewood Elementary, which is ranked one of the top public schools in all of Dallas. I mean, it's renowned for that area. So you'll find a good mix of families who have been there really for a long time, and then young professionals who, you know, can afford a little bit more and get in there and want to be close to downtown downtown, but also White Rock Lake. I love going there, biking myself. If I bike around that lake and then part way up the trail, it takes me about an hour and a half probably to get around the lake. But also I ride my bike on, you know, all the highest gears. I ride it on a 3 and a 7 because it gives me a little bit of that power ride regardless. So it makes it a little bit of a tougher ride. But you're going to see all kinds of people all over the park, running, jogging, biking, hiking, walking, picnicking. I mean, whatever you can imagine, you can do it around the lake. But I mean, location is a really big plus. I mean, you are just minutes from downtown Dallas, but you really feel like you're just off in this secluded nature reserve almost. I mean, you can grab a coffee at White Rock Coffee. They roast their own beans in-house. You could grab breakfast at Gold Rush Cafe. That's been around since like the 80s. And so for dinner, you can go to Smoky Rose. That's a really cool spot. They got some good barbecue there as well. Liberty Burger, I'd go there for their custard milkshakes. They're amazing. And then of course you got plenty of shopping around there. Lakewood Antique Mall. You got the Lakewood Shopping Center as well, and the Green Spot Market for some local boutiques. Again, median home price in Lakewood is really about 1.3. You won't find anything less than $1 million, but that's possible if it's completely run down, probably a tear down, but you still wouldn't get under 800, I'm sure. But that would be more like lot value. But Lakewood homes have really gained value over the years. They always keep their value. It's not a neighborhood that would ever crash in the market necessarily. All of the homes there each have their own unique appeal. So I'm going to show you a spot that most people completely overlook a little bit later on in this video. It's really my dark horse pick for 2025 because it's really got amazing value and an incredible food scene and very well-established neighborhoods. But what's really cool about Lakewood is how it's really kept its character. I mean, other parts of Dallas have changed quite a bit. Lakewood has really kept its historic homes, the big trees. They created a really good neighborhood with a great personality. So it's not just any type of little cookie cutter neighborhood. It's a place with history on every single street, and I love driving any street in Lakewood. But those of you, if you want more of like urban energy, this is my next neighborhood that could be for you, which is Uptown / Knox and Henderson. So if Lakewood kind of gives you that classical residential feel, Uptown and Knox Henderson really deliver urban, you know, energy or vibe at its best. And I mean, these areas have some of the most walkable and amenity rich areas in Dallas. I mean, Uptown, of course, is up from downtown and it has its own unique feel. I mean, this area is full of apartments, condos, townhomes, plus some of the best nightlife there, restaurants, shopping, Katy Trail, McKinney Avenue, run right through it. Katy Trail, by the way, cool place to walk, run, ride your bike, walk your dog. And I think they've been rated as an 85 for a walk score, you know, so that's pretty good. But you have easy access to DART, the light rail, and then the housing in Uptown is mostly condos and townhomes. You will find some old historic single family homes, which I love. A lot of those bungalows, craftsmen and Tudors kind of scattered throughout. You got close access to Clyde Warren Park, so that's easy to get to. You got Uchi for sushi. Yes, I love it. 60 Vines for wine, farm to table dishes, and then Malay Kitchen, which has some really good Thai food. West Village, everything for your shopping. You got Kendra Scott, Marine Layer for the local boutiques. You've got pretty much everything you need. And it's a beautiful scene. You're going to see a lot of pretty people around there as well. And you got that city vibe. It's really amazing. And we're seeing some pretty impressive urban development nearby that I'll talk about a little bit later, including a multi-billion-dollar project that's reshaping all of downtown, and it will likely influence property values throughout that area within the next coming years as well. Then you have Knox Henderson, that's just northeast of Uptown, has a similar urban vibe, but really feels a little bit more relaxed. I mean, it's also known for great restaurants like Taverna for authentic Italian, and up on Knox for some really good brunch. But for shopping, you got all the high-end stores. You got like Restoration Hardware over there, Crate and Barrel, Apple, boutiques like Garrett, Lee, and St. Michael's. But housing is really a mix of condos and townhomes as well. That's one of the biggest benefits of living in the area, though, is a pretty short commute. You're also right next door to Highland Park, so you could have a 5-minute drive or even be able to walk to work, just depending on where that is. And you can just get all throughout the neighborhoods there. I mean, grab coffee, lunch, brunch, dinner, it doesn't matter. And it's one of my favorite areas as well, just right across the highway on 75 from Old East Dallas, which if you have seen any of my videos, you know I love Old East Dallas. That's my old stomping grounds as well. Miss that place every single day. But these areas aren't really for everyone. I mean, if you have kids and schools are really important, or if you really want a big yard, lots of space, you might want to just venture outside of those areas. But for professionals, couples, anybody without kids or empty nesters, I mean, and you really want that active vibe going on, I mean, those are some amazing spots. But I also want to introduce you to the surprise contender for the best value in Dallas right now, and that is going to be Richardson. Now, this is a huge underrated gem, and when you think about Dallas's neighborhood hierarchy, Richardson always seems to be low on the list. Nobody talks about it that much, but I'm telling you, it's a huge opportunity. It's my dark horse pick for 2025, and I don't care what anyone really says. I mean, this area is seriously underrated. The food scene is great. I mean, if you haven't had the Korean barbecue in Richardson, you're missing out. I'm talking about places like Burning Rice, Jinching, and it could rival anything in New York. So you got shopping with Richardson Square, you got City Line, you've got a lot of outdoor shopping experiences. They're starting to revitalize a lot of the historic areas. It goes on with Richardson. And Richardson is only about 12 miles north of downtown Dallas, and it offers a really good mix of suburban comfort. The median home price is around $446,000, with 3-bedroom homes starting around $419,000. So that's a pretty good value compared to similar neighborhoods closer to downtown or even up north. So what really sets Richardson apart, I think, is its character. It's got really well-established neighborhoods. It's not a flashy suburb, really. It's just a solid, good community with schools, food that is all top rated, and you got access to everything. So the tech corridor, you got UT Dallas, you've got the Dart Rail. Whatever you need is really right in your backyard with Richardson, and you're split in between Frisco and downtown Dallas, so you could get the best of both worlds. Actually, Plano's next door and then Frisco. So you're really within 20 minutes to either Frisco or downtown Dallas. I mean, you can't beat that. But it's also got a pretty good mix of established neighborhoods and the new development. So older parts have really beautiful mid-century modern homes with really mature trees, lots of character. Newer areas have some of the modern homes and townhomes that might appeal to some professionals, but a lot of those older homes have also been rehabbed to look really, really cool. And the schools in Richardson are consistently strong performers. Richardson High School has been ranked in the top 200 in Texas, and the community has a real sense of identity. It's not just really another suburb. I mean, it's Richardson. I mean, it has its own unique culture. And if you love the outdoors, I mean, Richardson also has over 40 parks and 40 miles of trails. You got Breckenridge Park, that's 417 acres with sports fields, fishing ponds, miles of trails. A Spring Creek Nature Area, that's 100 acres of forest right in the middle of the city. And the value in Richardson is really great compared to Frisco or even downtown Dallas. So you got homes starting in the 300s to mid 400s, and that's getting very rare to be that close to Dallas and finding that. And you could either work in Frisco or Dallas. Like I mentioned, you're split pretty much right in the middle, so you got a very simple commute to either one. Now, if we move on to one of Dallas's most distinctive neighborhoods, and that's going to be the Bishop Arts District. This is one of my favorite areas in all of Dallas, and it's one of the most unique, character-filled areas in the city. So Bishop Arts, I mean, it's colorful, it's eclectic, it's been completely transformed over the last decade. Actually, Bishop Arts was ranked as the #1 area for growth and appreciation in homes over the last decade. But I think this area was once forgotten, but now it's one of the coolest spots in all of Dallas. I mean, it's been significantly rehabbed over the last several years. It's full of indie shops, restaurants, art galleries. It just feels cool. It's not some little fake urban village. It's the real deal. It's got its own history, old homes. Most of the homes were built in the 1920s, so well over a century, as well as the buildings in that area that have all been really nicely restored. Most of them are very amazing. So housing, it's a mix of fixed up old homes. You got some newer builds trying to, capture the artsy feel, you could say. The median sales price, though, is around $615,000, but you can find something maybe in the 400s, but it's probably going to need some work. So if you're willing to do that, it could have some serious equity once you're done with that rehab. But what I really love about Bishop Arts is walkability. We try to get down there once a month or once every other month just to park and just walk. Always try a new restaurant, grab a drink somewhere. There's some good ciders down there, some good wine. And then you've got the Jazz Hall, which just reminds me of New Orleans so much. By the way, I lived in New Orleans for a stint of time. Love jazz music. I love that vibe. I love the New Orleans vibes. I mean, it's such a cool city. I miss New Orleans as well. But they've got a place down there, and they're always jamming the live jazz band, and you just feel like you're inside of New Orleans. It's amazing. So always something going on down there. Could be a street festival, art walk, just people hanging out. It's always busy. Paradiso, by the way, Paradiso, probably one of my favorite restaurants there. there. And then I believe Tejas Tacos. I think that's it. But yes, a couple of good coffee shops as well. So you're just a short drive from downtown Dallas as well. So you feel like you're in a completely different world, but you can actually kind of see a little bit of the skyline of Dallas out in the distance. The neighborhood is really great for creative professionals, young couples, anyone who really loves character, walkability. It's kind of got that Austin vibe. You know, I hate to say that, but I do like Austin. Austin's kind of cool, but you know, it gives really that sense of vibe. So I want to wrap up with something that really represents Dallas's future in a major development that will change the landscape. So you've got Reunion District. So this is going to be a pretty big future hotspot. This is where the old stadium for the Stars and Mavericks used to be. So they're making a massive comeback in that area. It'll change how you think about city living. There's cranes in the sky, new energy on the streets, and the vibe that this is finally just starting to happen. So the game changer is that the Reunion District project, which is going to be a $5 billion redevelopment, it'll transform the 50 acres in downtown Dallas with construction running from 2024 to 2028. And the plan is to include over 3,000 new apartments and 12 million square feet of mixed-use space and really beautiful public plazas. So what makes downtown really exciting, of course, is the downtown vibe. I mean, you've got the Arts District, you've got world-class museums and theaters like Perel Museum of Nature and Science, Clyde Warren Park, that connects downtown and uptown. And, you know, the restaurant scene is blowing up down there for dining. You could check out the Mitchell for amazing cocktails. You could check out CBD Provisions. You could check out Bouillon for some French cuisine that earned a Michelin recently. And so for shopping, of course, you got Neiman Marcus, the flagship store, the shops at Thanksgiving Square, and specialty retailers like Traffic LA, 4510. So it's really becoming a place where people live as well and not just work. But housing in downtown ranges really from luxury high-rise condos to converted lofts in historic buildings. So the average Dallas home value is around $318,000. Downtown prices are significantly higher. That's going to be upwards of the 800s for most of the luxury developments. But the walkability, of course, is amazing. It has a walk score well over 80, and so you're also at the center of Dallas's public transportation system, so multiple DART lines connecting you to the rest of the city. That makes downtown one of the few places in Dallas where you could really live without a car. But, you know, of course, downtown isn't for everyone. I mean, it's city living that comes with that. So smaller spaces, higher prices per square foot, the energy, sometimes the noise, the sirens, that city life. I mean, I love that, but not for me right now. I just love that vibe. But yeah, different time of life right now. But the transformation of downtown is still really happening. And that's exactly why now is such an interesting time to take a look at it. I mean, you can get in while that area is still changing and possibly see a pretty big gain and as the massive projects are completed. So after going through all of these neighborhoods, here's the question, like, where would I choose to live? Now, we've covered quite a bit today in this video, really some of Dallas's neighborhoods that are my favorite. So if it was 2025, like, where would I actually move to? Let's break down each neighborhood again. You got Bishop Arts, which is really ideal for creative professionals, those who want an authentic urban experience. With walkability, you got Richardson, offers incredible schools, a diverse community, perfect for first-time buyers or families seeking some value. You got Uptown, Knox Henderson, works best for professionals that really want that urban feel and walkable lifestyle. Downtown, Reunion District is for those who want to be at the center of everything and don't mind some growing pains and some sirens along the way. Lakewood gives you that established neighborhood feel with some character and proximity to nature. And for my personal pick, you know, based on everything that we've looked at, I mean, it's probably gonna have to be Prosper. And that's, of course, with kids in the mix now as well. You know, I'm a new father, and actually my son just turned 1, by the way, so he's still a little far off from schools, but also all of the development that is happening right up in the Prosper Frisco area. I think it's the prime time right now to get ahead of all of that, especially when you have the Fields Frisco, you have North Fields, you've got Fields West, you've got Universal Kids Resort, you've got Firefly Park, you've got the Prosper Arts District, and everything that's happening in Salina. Prosper is a pretty central mix right there in the middle of what is going to explode in the next 10 to 15 years. And, you know, if we stick around here and stay for that amount of time, we're going to have a significant amount of value in our home. And more than likely, I'll probably keep it anyway. So for any reason whatsoever that I decide to move out of the area, I would do whatever I could to keep my home in the Prosper area because I know what the value is going to be in quite some time. But everything is dependent on your situation and what you're thinking about doing and what's best for you and your family. So that's why I always encourage you to reach out. You can email me at info@livingindallastx.com, or you can shoot me a text or give me a call at the number right there as well. And I'd be looking forward to speaking with you on your particular situation to see if it's a good time for you and your family. We can always find a deal in any market. Right now is a great time to negotiate as a buyer. So we're always going to do what we can to get you the best deal possible. And again, we've done that for over 500 relocation clients alone just within the last couple of years. And if you want to see how these neighborhoods stack up against all the other areas in Dallas, then you could check out my video where I ranked every Dallas area from worst to best. And I look forward to showing you around town.